This week, we're taking a look at 12 Realms from Mage Company.
In this game, you will be taking on the role of some famous fairy tale characters in order to defend, you guessed it, the 12 Realms from several Dark Lords and their armies. With your fellow compatriots, you will have to fight off the armies until the Dark Lords appear, and hopefully, you'll gain the artifacts necessary to defeat the Dark Lords before it's too late. I'm O'Keeler.
I'm Jonathan Estes, and this is Roll for Crit Playback. We're going to be defending our realms from evil invaders today. We will be doing so as Robin Hood,
Little Red Riding Hood,
Joan of Arc,
Siegfried.
naturally.
Of course.
Before we begin with our turns, we're going to find out which invaders will be coming out on the field for our first round.
Alright, so we're starting with a Dark Unicorn.
On one.
Next, we have an Autumn Fairy, which means I spawned 4 of them. Yeah, so I've got a whole lot of stuff to kill.
Yeah, so
I've got a whole lot of stuff to collect.
I have nothing.
I hate you.
So green is swamped,
Yes, I am.
and that's you over there.
Yes, it is.
I mean, round one, there's nothing anyone can do to help. They can only prepare to help you next time.
I will take out all the fairies. That's what I'm going to do. My board seems bad, but I should be able to do a lot.
Terrible.
In some cases, it's even better just to let stuff come out so that we get your board over with, but I don't think it is in this case. All right, well, Danny's going first, right?
Yeah.
Give me some cards.
You can spend 2 swiftness to go to any board, and you don't end your turn. And you also get a swiftness and a magic.
Each
Permanent.
turn.
Yes.
Permanent.
Yes.
And that doesn't go away either.
No. That's like another extra ability.
Let's make this so.
That's a really good card.
Yeah.
That's destroyed. Spending 2 of these to go
I have to
anywhere?
go there, yeah. Because you can kill... You have 3 swords left, you can kill all these guys.
Nice.
Rip roaring.
That's another word you could use.
Let's start killing some stuff. I get 2 sword.
All right.
We're going to be good against these Dark Fortresses when they come out.
Yeah, we're off to a very good start.
1 swiftness to move here. Spend a book to get that. Spend a swiftness to move there. Spend a sword to get that.
So you're already 2 out of 3 artifacts for the blue board.
And
Yes.
next turn I'm going to use a charm on that and then get that to get the coin to get that one.
So you'll be ready. Of course, by the time the boss comes out, you're going to be somewhere else.
Yes.
Of course.
Now, meanwhile, I have nothing to do. So I'm just going to do my fun hopping around and having a leisurely time over here as Robin Hood.
Alright, so only this board will be spawning, I believe, 4? Yes. 4 creatures still on there.
So we're pretty good. You guys should come over to my board. It is awesome.
Just
and where
forget about trying to win. Let's just go to the cool
Where did
board.
these pirates go?
Alright,
I didn't know
so
if you still had cards
lots
on.
of things piled onto the board very fast.
Using,
Meanwhile, you're just in paradise.
It's great over
using.
here. Here you are, sir. Welcome to town. Would you like to purchase some wares?
I already have
You
that.
want that, you get a free
That's-
wild.
Okay.
I see you've chosen the free wild. You're just knocking heads over there.
Siegfried, he just runs around, he's...
Well, it's because he can buy so much stuff so easily.
And next turn, there will be more.
Guys, we should try to kill him. I don't know why. I know it's co-op.
See,
but...
co-op game, and I'm winning.
I can take out all 3 of those by using a heart, a sword, and a wild. And I'm going to use a swiftness to take out the last fairy there. Use 1 swiftness to move over there, and my final swiftness to catch the sprite, which gives me a coin,
Those silly sprites.
Which you can then use to get the artifact.
which I can.
Well, hey, how about that? Alright, while you guys are fighting and doing important things, I'm just going to frolic around and get some treasure. So I'm going to move here. I'm going to spend 2 books to get both of these. Treasure for a coin, and my second of 3 artifacts. And then I'm going to move back home, and I'm going to spend my final swiftness to purchase a town quard, also known as a card. If I choose the Guild Thief and I discard it, I get 1 coin for every invader currently on the board that I'm in.
Oh, that's gonna be great here because a lot of things are spawning here.
So I could come over somewhere and literally get like 10 coins at once, potentially. I could move to one of your guys' towns, should I?
Here, use resources and help him.
Should I come over there?
Yeah, because everything's spawning there. I'm gonna get the Dark Castle next turn.
Okay.
3. There.
The
Behold.
Black Fortress has spawned.
There, but-
We can't kill any invaders until we defeat the Black Fortress.
In there or anywhere?
In that area.
Specifically this one.
Yes.
Alright, so let's draw our new 9. Sprite.
You say the names of them as if we're gonna know what a sprite looks like.
Oh, how could you not? Triad. There you go.
Dryad. I spawned you out of
Alright, the
cards.
rest is not green. Ninja.
Oh, yeah, the ninja. What's a... Okay, ninja. Now, a ninja, I know what that looks like.
Yes. How many swords do you have?
Me?
No.
Me? I have 1.
Alright.
In the game.
In the game, yes. So, if
At
I
home.
kept my
5 or 6.
my sword and my wild, we could together take out the black.
Let's do it.
So spend 1 swiftness to move there. Sorry, no, 2 swords to kill off the 2 of these.
Which gives you another, gives them a coin.
Gives him a coin.
Here, spend swiftness, spend a charm to get one of these, which gives me a coin.
Gives him a coin.
Which I'm going to then use though.
Gonna
to
use
move
it,
my
though.
other swiftness to go over here to kill this guy. Which gives
Wow.
me a coin.
You just...
Well
that was
done.
some...
Well done, sir.
that
Well
was-
done.
I'm pretty impressed. So I'm going to burn off my Guild Thief to receive 6 coins.
You want? Yeah, can I have some?
Yay. Oh my god, it's the most coins I've ever had in this game. And then I'm gonna move over to you. And together...
Well, now, before you go there, you could spend
Oh.
a swiftness to now try to buy a town card.
Oh, you're right, before I
That's-
even move.
that's-
Alright, I'll meet you in a little bit.
Hold on! I got some shopping.
You can.
Alright, now I'm gonna move. And now we're gonna take down the Black Fortress.
Alright. Alright, so this game actually started off as a Kickstarter. And this wasn't just recently kicked, it was a while ago.
And you were a backer of it. I
Yeah,
believe.
well, actually, no, not the original one. The first expansion, we should mention. In this game, it only comes with 4 realms. If you can't guess from where I'm going with this, the other realms will be expansions.
Right.
And that's how I got it. I backed the first expansion. And anyway, continuing from there, we were able to get this game, and we played the first one, and hopefully soon we're actually going to be able to show you the expansions.
Right. So there's lots of content there already.
Right.
More realms to explore.
Right.
But we'll have that in the future. But today
Yes.
we're talking about just the base.
Yes. And frankly, the base does come with a lot. What you're really seeing is one game of it, which is really hard to explain the whole game, because they give a lot of stuff to do a lot of different playthroughs. Like, there's different cards for different styles, like you can buy in specific towns. You can have a dark player. There's ways to make it harder or easier.
Yeah, there's like 5 or 6 difficulty modes with a lot of variation for how difficult you want it to
Right.
be. As
But
you might
at the
guess.
same time, you'll be watching, really the gameplay itself is not too complicated to wrap your head around. You need certain talents. Talents to use the word?
Talents.
Talents. I'm mixing up lingo.
Terminology is hard.
To defeat the invaders.
Yeah.
So it's not they give you an easy way to get into it, but it's not like, okay, I've learned how to play, this game's done.
You're basically, I think it's, if you're looking for something to wrap your head around, it's similar to games like Pandemic or Ghost Stories, that kind of cooperative fend off the enemy until you can beat it, and hopefully until before time runs out.
Right.
And yeah, we really like those kinds of games. And like you said, it's pretty straightforward. You're moving and you're using your talent. It's nice because it's very clear based on the icons and the cards and the tokens what you need to do and what you can do on your turn. So there usually isn't much confusion.
Right.
So some of the town cards and other things, sometimes you have to look up if you're not familiar with it.
Right.
What it does, because there isn't any, which kind of is nice, adds to I like thematically and just for the look of it, there isn't a lot of text on the cards.
Yeah.
Everything's explained through these symbols, which is nice.
Another thing I think I really love is you're going to see 4 realms in this.
gonna see
we
4 realms.
actually have enough people for it.
Yeah.
Each one, obviously, you can see inspirations of the fairy tales that they pull from. For
Right.
example, there's ones that are really obviously different. For example, there's the board that has all that's the Japanese influences, really separates itself. But like there's one that's a enchanted forest more, where you see the fairy monsters and like pixies, and that has more of that like I said, enchanted forest kind of thing. But if you look at the one that has ice and stuff, where the Valkyrie comes, more Nordic style, there's still there's a pond where you see with swans in, that's where it goes with Swan Lake kind of thing. Like they really, each realm tells the stories of the area it's coming
It
from.
is a really cool theme. I mean, it's sort of like if you're into fables, that kind of all the fairy Grimm, whatever. What's the
Grimm Brothers? There's Brothers Grimm.
But there's what's the TV show that's on now? Anyway, it doesn't matter.
A Hollow?
No, there's
Sleepy
Hollow.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
That kind of like where they just pull from all
the one that the Frozen characters are on. What is that?
Once Upon a Time.
Once Upon a Time. Anyway, where all the fairy tale characters come together. That's really cool. And also, what's also cool about it is it's not just those characters straight up as you remember them, like Robin Hood in this version is a cat.
No, actually in the Kickstarter I started backing in. I remember one of the characters they unlocked. We'll talk more when we do it, but I'm going to just mention I was King Arthur. But they said very specifically we refused to make him, because they made him a creature, refused to make him a lion. They didn't want to make it so obvious connection.
Interesting.
So like they definitely want to make their characters stand out.
Yeah, which is smart because it's good. It's nice to have a familiar theme, but you also want it to be something memorable and unique.
I will say this is more of just a little preference of mine. I like that Joan of Arc's a character because I just think she's awesome in actual historical.
It is definitely kind of. Some of them are a little weird because it's you expect like there to be more typical. Like Joan of Arc, I probably wouldn't have guessed would be in the game, but it's cool.
Yeah,
it's a cool. Yeah, that would be one that sort of doesn't fall into the fairy tale category, but you know.
But yeah, as you can see, as the game progresses, so long, it's like you said, like Pandemic. It's not that it's just. Okay, simple move here, we're done. There will be 10 moments of tension.
Oh, yeah.
You'll be, one moment you'll be like, yeah, the board I'm on, it's fine, nothing wrong. Next moment, all right, 10 things just spawned. I can take out 2. Help?
Yeah, it's definitely, you're always trying to ride that balance between, because at some points, you want enemies to come out because you're ready, you want things to move along, but if you push too far in that direction, it can quickly topple and everything falls apart.
Going back to how we said there's all different versions, another thing we like going more on is the difficulty. Right. For example, the character cards. There are certain character cards, one of which we did use in this one, which make the game a lot easier.
They each have their own special abilities.
And not only that, each character has 2 sides, so depending on the version you use, can just have maybe regular abilities or maybe an advanced one. For example, our Red Riding Hood had an ability which you should see right off the bat to spend 2 hearts once to get a free town card, which is really useful because those town cards are really what's going to help you.
That's one thing we found is that town cards are definitely important because...
No, our first playthrough we did not know that. Did not end well.
Yeah, well, there's 2 things. Really, this is a game that you want to almost prep a little, but if you're at least on like medium or higher difficulty, even on easy maybe. You want to put your characters on the boards that they're going to be effective on.
Right.
It takes some getting used to.
For example, the Fairy Tale board, the Enchanted Forest board, I should say, all its treasure cards, and I think one of its artifacts, require magic.
Right.
And if you don't have magic, it's sort of like,
right.
Well then.
Yeah, you just have to hope you're lucky with cards.
Right.
Which can be difficult. And then also the same thing of picking the characters correctly, like we already said. So it definitely helps like to have played a couple times and if you just go into it randomly, it could become really difficult if you choose the wrong things. Or on the other hand, it could become too easy.
Right.
So, but which is great because you have that freedom to measure it out the way you want it to be.
Right.
Wait, your boss is coming out soon. Maybe I should just stay over there and
That's
help you.
true, yeah.
Yeah, actually...
I think I should. Well, do you have artifacts yet?
I have 1.
Oh, there's 1 there. I don't have magic, though, so I can't help get it.
We gotta try to clear out this board just long enough to get the treasures.
Okay, pink is now a problem. I don't know. Should I have gone over? Nah,
no,
it's too late.
Yeah.
So,
because he can solve it.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, so please solve it.
I want these first.
No.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
I think it's more important.
They're always going to be there.
The thing is, these are going to each spawn an extra one. That's going to spawn an extra
You're
one.
right.
And then so I'm going to use 2 swiftness to go there.
Because I want you to get those
And the
artifacts
wild
so
to
that
get
we're
the
ready
artifact.
once the boss comes.
Yeah.
If we can clear a whole board when these ones have barely progressed at all,
Actually,
that's really good.
Now the question is,
The other
where's
one.
that third treasure?
spends.
You mean
The
artifact?
Artifact, yeah. Watch, it's gonna be the last card in the deck, and Queen's gonna be out. We're gonna be trying so hard to get every.
Yeah, we really need it.
Well, good news. One green card. Crown of Thorns.
Yay!
Roll.
Yay! Oh, right.
I got a lot of things to worry about here, and if I don't come over here,
You
I
can still
will-
do both.
all right.
You have 4 movement, don't you? So he can still make it over there.
So
Yeah.
I used up everything again on
was-
other people's crap,
It's for the greater good, Danny.
but I'm winning.
A flying pig. I'm taking the flying pig. The other one's a horse. I
2
spend
swiftness.
2 swiftness and basically go anywhere.
thing
I want.
as-
So,
Pegasus,
do you have 2
except
swiftness
worse.
left over?
Yes, I do.
Then you can maybe fly over to the Japan, because then you can just fly back here when something.
Oh wait, and then you can also use your other sword to kill that.
No, he wants the Black Castle.
Oh,
yeah.
you sure you don't want to just in case a lot of stuff spawns there next
It's
round?
just, I feel like otherwise we're just going to be, this board is so low down, it's just going to take that much longer. Just
All
gonna
right,
be
so
waiting
move
for
that
it.
to 7.
But even
Move
if we're
yours up
waiting
1.
for it, if we clear out the other boards, it doesn't matter if we wait for it.
All right, fine, I'll do it.
You should have listened. You were right to listen to Matt.
Okay. He won me over with his logic.
All right, 3 Tanuki roll.
5
Have you ever had the Tanuki roll? Delicious.
A ghost.
A ghost.
on 6.
Oh,
On 6.
ghost!
And a doubloon.
Scooby-Doo.
Uh-oh. A challenger is approaching.
The Snow Queen, the boss of Green Realm, has arrived.
So before we even get to challenge it,
If you roll 3 times, if you get a 1, you're done. It's because it's the Snow Queen, so she's like slowing you down.
But also she costs
Elsa!
4 random.
Yeah.
She's pretty brutal. If the 3 of you go over here and kill her, then you can go over there, get rid of the Black Fortress and such, and then both those boards are cleared. You don't need to worry about this. I've got this board set.
Well, with my
I've got this board on lockdown.
so let's move. So spend 1. Let's get to it. Let's see if
So-
I lose a turn.
Okay,
We are challenging the Ice Queen.
Snow Queen.
Snow Queen. My mistake.
She is a real ice queen, though.
No.
So if we get a 1 on any of these,
Right.
turn over.
No. And
Very
no.
good.
All right.
Good. Now,
So,
now we gotta
where's the
find
black
out
one?
what
All right.
we need to defeat her with.
Right. Luckily, I have the crown. So first thing we need is a wing, which
Got one.
1 sword,
Got
I
it.
got. I got that.
2 sword,
Now we need one of your
Got
sword,
it.
and magic.
and I
Got
have
it.
one.
Oh.
Yeah. We defeated her.
Yeah.
Alright, so
wait,
she's dead.
Well, another thing that's cool is you're gonna see 4 of the bosses. Well, technically, I don't.
Right.
Depending on how we cut this video, you might not see all of them. But there are 4 bosses, 1 for each realm. But each realm actually comes with 2 different bosses you can choose from. So you can have a lot more different playability because maybe at one point you could be like, oh, I know I can defeat this, and maybe another one's like, okay, I couldn't defeat this one as much. I mean, depending on what your
Right.
group is, who you're using, I can't say which one's harder, one or the other.
And also depending on, I'm not sure how much of the stuff that we had was Kickstarter tied, but there's also like the special promo invaders that
Right.
were a little
They're
stronger.
much stronger the defeat.
So
Yes.
there's those little things that you add in. And I'm
Well,
sure
like
the
I said, that's what
expansions-
happens. The whole thing, the game was designed to be, okay, we got a good premise. Now let's make it so people can play in 100 different ways. They either raise difficulty, lower it, change it around, which is amazing just for this. This is just one expansion. I mean, the base game now.
yes,
I mean, like
no
the expansions
expansions.
adds a lot more things. Like we'll go into detail, but like some like will trap you on a board. Others like someone is a ninja and you have to find out who. And like one was like you actually had to get a flying pig to catch witches and stuff. They have all these weird different like
scenarios
yeah.
and stuff. Yeah. That I'm excited to try.
Yeah.
And it is cool. I mean, we didn't really even get into the fact that there are these 12 realms. The idea of moving from board to board, it's a unique thing. Usually you don't have more than one board.
Right.
Although I guess technically it could just be 4 areas on one
Yeah,
board.
but at the same time you could with
can shuffle them in
expansions
and
then you
out,
could shuffle them in and out,
which is really cool. Yeah.
And that's like, once again that's also exciting because then you're like okay you can look at the board and see what culture it's drawing its myths from, which I always loved. If you pull from all different cultures, both of us fans of age mythology, I love the idea of clashing cultures.
We love culture. We love
how many times?
multiculture.
Let's get a culture counter here. and how many times
Diversity
we
is
use it in
key.
the next 10 seconds.
Great.
But overall, the game has been. I'm really glad we got a chance to play it early. I can't wait to actually get the hands on the expansions. You know, we forgot to mention one of its biggest draws for a lot of people. I know is the miniatures.
Sure, yeah, which are nice, and they're large and they're well detailed. And if we knew how to paint them, you probably could paint them really nicely.
Well, I do know that you can actually on the previous levels get Kickstarters. I assume for the latest one that will come out sometime later, you can buy painted versions of the miniatures. But still, they are amazing. And they look great. I mean, I think one of the ones that I think is hilarious because it's one of the biggest is Snow White.
Oh yeah,
because it's not just her; it's Snow White with all her animals.
Because of course she doesn't go anywhere without birds and squirrels singing at her feet. If I had my only nitpick, if I had to have a nitpick, is it does have lower difficulties for families and kids. I do feel though that for some groups the theme might be either. Because the theme is so family friendly, but I don't know that younger kids would really be that into this. It really feels more like the older kind of cooperative game for gamers to me. And when we have played on the higher difficulty levels, and I could also the other way around see some groups who are not as secure as we are, who are like, I don't want to play this game with fairies in it.
I mean,
which is their loss.
Yeah,
but,
no, well, that's true because I mean, going a little bit off topic, we know with Love Letter, apparently, some people refuse to play Love Letter because it has the word love in it. But when you get Munchkin Loot Letter, have no problem. It's like,
right. Theme is important, so that is one thing that's unfortunate.
Well,
but
we should know. If that is such a big problem for you. The expansions, for example, I know one of them is literally undead ghosts and stuff. So, I mean, we already got that down. Another one is, Greek pantheon stuff and Egyptian. So that's already... I mean, if you're not into that, why are you into board games? You've already... That's Cyclades, Comet. I mean, that's...
There's cool stuff coming in the works. So if you get the expansions, you can just switch in...
if you really need to, but I feel like... this already has so much good. Yeah. And that's what's exciting because it's sort of like we only had a taste, though, of the game.
That's true.
That's what's exciting. It's just like, okay, we've tasted 4 realms. It's a third of apparently this world.
So I would, and that's another, I could see people thinking like, oh, I'm only getting a third of the game. There really is plenty of content from those 4 boards. You don't... No,
they worked, like we said, they worked hard to make it so there's a lot of variations. Like, sure, the expansion will add new boards, but that's like, I'm trying to think of an example. Like, for example, I know we always go to this Legendary, just because like, oh, I have to get other expansions for other characters. Yeah, but the base still comes with a good amount. Yeah. You're not losing out.
You're getting your money's worth. So that would be my 2 things would be, theme could be an issue, and also, like I said before, some of the icons and stuff I felt could be a little clearer reading the rules wise. But other than that, I think it's a great co-op game with a cool theme, and since you can change the difficulty level, it's a must in a co-op game. It's really a good one to try out, and we're looking forward to the expansions. That's my final thoughts. What are yours?
Yeah, theme-wise, it's what I love. Like we said, the culture aspect of pulling from different stories is great. I think it works very well in the cooperative because it doesn't feel like it's too easy for you. So it's that perfect amount.
And being able to also, be on the same space, you can combine your talents. Yes. That's a great way to make it really feel cooperative as opposed to, you feel like you're actually working together.
Yeah. And with variety of characters, I think that does make it helpful for if you have someone who's new, you give them like the really easier to use ones. Mm-hmm. And with the expansions done very well with different stories and adding whole new different rules, I think pretty much allows for even more, which the box provides a lot, expandability.
So keep an eye out because we will have in the coming weeks or next couple months, they're going to be launching new Kickstarters for expansions. So we will be on the scene to give you the scoop on those.
And of course, we will actually hopefully be selling 12 Realms soon on our own site.
Yes, so look to that. We'll be sure to alert you. If you would like to be kept up to date as to when that will happen, of course, you can check us out on Facebook or Twitter. We'll have the links around here. But maybe they want to let us know something about themselves or their thoughts
so maybe
or questions.
You got a chance to play it one way or another. You can email us at rollforcrit@gmail.com.
or they can leave a comment right in the video, which would be really good. And if you haven't seen it on our website, it would be awesome if you signed up for our newsletter, which is a new thing.
That's new.
And other than that, check out our website in general, rollforcrit.com. We sell games, as we said. We'll carry this one shortly. We have more videos like this, more playbacks, more podcasts, lots of stuff.
So for now, you've seen 12 realms, you've seen 4 of them, and hopefully more to come.
Indeed.
I'm Will Keeler.
I'm Jonathan Estes, and you have been watching Roll for Crit Playback. Okay. All right, let's go. So no one told you life was gonna be this way. Okay.